Welcome to MojoTravels, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 destinations threatened by climate change.
Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to MojoTravels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we're looking at the most beautiful and iconic places on Earth that are being affected by global warming and major changes in weather patterns. Number 10. Easter Island. This remote island in the Pacific Ocean, which is considered a part of Chile, is distinguished by the Moai statues. These figures were carved by the indigenous Rapa Nui people. Sitting atop stone platforms of the volcanic crater of Rano Raraku, the ancient statues are admired across the world. What many travellers fail to recognise, however, is the island's history of climate change. Research suggests that climate change caused droughts, thus diminishing the food supply. While European contact radically hurt the indigenous population, climate change was likely taking its toll before settlers arrived. Today, Easter Island and its inhabitants are still threatened by drought. Temperature changes have also been linked to the depletion of its wetlands, and rising sea levels may wash away part of the island's heritage. Number 9. Mumbai, India. With somewhere around 20 million people, Mumbai is the world's 7th most populous city. The gateway of India and the Bollywood scene also do bring in their fair share of tourists. We wouldn't recommend visiting between June and September though, as that's when monsoon season hits and flooding becomes especially hazardous. This isn't surprising, as Mumbai's average elevation above sea level is over 40 feet. As sea levels continue to skyrocket due to climate change, Mumbai faces even greater challenges. If preventative measures aren't taken, it's believed that parts of the city could be submerged by 2050. As of now, it's those who live in poor communities by the water who have the most to worry about. Number 8. The Belize Barrier Reef. Belize as a whole has been hit hard by climate change, as well as natural disasters like hurricanes. While the Caribbean country has taken some action to preserve its famed barrier reef, global warming remains just one of the various threats it faces. The rise of ocean temperatures has led to coral bleaching, jeopardizing the reef and the creatures that inhabit it. From 1985 to 2014, the bleaching stress level had a score of 1.7. Matters took a severe turn between 2014 and 2017, when it went up to a 3. Although the United Nations took the reef off of its Endangered World Heritage Sites list in 2018, bleaching remains a serious problem, and if it persists, the future may be bleak for Belize's main tourist attraction. Number 7. Key West, Florida. When it comes to climate change, few US states are in more vulnerable position than Florida. Everglades National Park is no stranger to rising sea levels, and it's been theorized that levels in the Florida Keys could rise 15 inches by 2045. This has us especially concerned about Key West, the southernmost point of the continental US. This island already has an average elevation of roughly 8 feet above sea level. Key West is among Florida's most popular destinations, featuring waterfront attractions like Mallory Square. If climate change persists as it has been though, people may need to start spending their vacations inland. In any case, now's probably not the best time to invest in a summer home. Number 6. Alaska. Anyone who loves wildlife and nature needs to visit Alaska at least once. You may want to go sooner rather than later, however. Being the coldest state in America, tourists venture to Alaska to beat the heat. While we'd still advise packing winter clothes, Alaska has seen an average temperature increase of 2.5 degrees over the last 5 decades. Numerous species of trees, particularly yellow cedar, have perished since there isn't as much snow to protect their roots. For those who still don't see climate change as an issue, look no further than Alaska's melting glaciers, which are partly responsible for the world's overall sea level rise. It may be synonymous with freezing weather, but Alaska is reportedly warming faster than any of the other 49 US states. Number 5. The Amazon. The Amazon is home to the world's largest rainforest, with nearly 390 billion trees, over 30 million human residents, and animals aplenty. Even before climate change was an everyday phrase, everyone was familiar with the campaign to save the rainforest. Years later, this biodiversity haven is still under fire, quite literally. In 2019, Brazil had more than 80,000 fires, an increase of just under 80% from the previous year. Roughly half of those fires were in Brazil's portion of the rainforest. Climate change and global warming were without a doubt among the main contributing factors. We'd say that the fight never ends, but our worst fear is that one day there won't be a rainforest left to fight for. Number 4. Venice, Italy. Venice owes much of its breathtaking reputation to its iconic canals, with every tourist craving a gondola ride. The city's water-based nature is a blessing and a curse, however. As the 2010s drew to a close, Venice saw its waters rise 6 feet above sea level, enduring its worst flood in almost 53 years. These are the effects of climate change, Venice Mayor Luigi Brugnaro stated, adding that the costs will be high. While Venice has also been sinking, climate change has indeed contributed to flooding. While some believe that the city's electromechanical floodgates may lessen the threat of global warming, many still worry that the City of Water may one day be known as the City Underwater. Number 3. Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The rainforests of Brazil aren't the only parts of that country that have been heating up in the wrong way. Of all the cities in South America, climate change will likely have the worst impact on Rio, according to the Urban Climate Change Research Network. In 2011, Rio was devastated by floods and landslides, amounting to the worst natural disaster ever to plague Brazil. Temperatures and sea levels have also been rising in Rio, which nonetheless remains one of the most dazzling destinations on Earth for a beach getaway. If a solution isn't found, however, we could envision a future where it's too hot to go to the beach, or the sandy beach is underwater, or both. Number 2. Glacier National Park, Montana. It shouldn't come as a surprise that a place with Glacier in the name would be in danger of climate change. The worst case scenario is that this national park will have to change its name due to the lack of glaciers. While we aren't quite there yet, the decrease of glaciers since the mid-19th century is reason for alarm. By the end of the Little Ice Age, the park had 150 known glaciers. Today, there are only 25 active glaciers, and it's safe to say that they're shrinking rather than growing. If warming continues in this direction, some experts suspect that the park might not have any glaciers left by 2030. If this proves correct, we'd advise you to see the glaciers while you can. Number 1. The Great Barrier Reef, Australia. With the 2019-2020 bushfire season, Australia became one of the main talking points in the climate change discussion. For our top spot though, we wanted to key in on Australia's most treasured site. The Great Barrier Reef is the world's ultimate destination for scuba diving, snorkeling and getting up close with marine life. But for how long? Experts agree that climate change is the reef's most formidable threat. Like the Belize Barrier Reef, climate change has also triggered a radical uptick in coral bleaching here. The reef has experienced several marine heat waves over the past couple of decades. In 2020, it was reported that over 50% of the reef's coral has been lost since 1995. Even the world's largest coral reef system has its limits.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MojoTravels, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.